Happy Thursday. Hi, everyone. Coming in. Say hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Good evening, everyone. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. How's everybody's day? How was everybody's day? Legend Zona. Hi. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hello. Raluchi. I hope I didn't murder your name. Is it Raluchi or Raluki? Black Shutter. Hi, TikTok. Hello, everyone. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. I think it's been a long day. Hello, Something Groovy. Hello, Miss Giwa. How are you? I'm good. How are you? 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. How's everyone doing? Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Oh, Lord. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going. Hi, everyone. Hi, Gracie on TikTok. Happy Thursday to you as well. Hello, Something Groovy. Hi, everyone. K Marie 975. Hello, people on Facebook and YouTube. Come on in, everyone. Let's talk immigration. Let's talk immigration and get your questions answered. Hello, Wally. Lorium, okay, and good evening. Come on in, everybody. Say hello when you come in. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys coming on the lives each time and educating ourselves. I learn from you. You learn from me. Omotela, how are you? Okay. Come on in. I was going to come earlier, but I was listening to something. I'm telling you. I just leave it alone. But anyway, good to know. How's everybody's day been? Can you believe this week went pretty fast? Like tomorrow is Friday already. Can you believe that? It went pretty fast. Hi, everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale Samuel. I am an immigration attorney based in Alabama, and I represent immigration clients in all 50 states. So if you've got an immigration case, or is a case topic my firm handles, we can and do represent immigration clients, regardless of where you live. And I'm going to take a deep breath. Hello, it's hosting for Real 1010, all the way from New Jersey. How's it going? I hear it's getting really, really chilly now for you guys. Here in the South, we're still... So that's the thing about the South. Summers are so hot. Like you can literally cook an egg. I'm not even trying to be funny. And I tell you, I don't know about y'all black skin. My black skin doesn't like sun. Like, no. And like, I start to hyperventilate. Yeah, for someone who grew up in Nigeria, you would think, no, it just does not do well in heat. So you're in the 30s in Minnesota already. You got to be kidding me. No. See, I lived in Chicago for 3 years. So I was, lived in Chi-Town for 3 years. Love that city to pieces. I love Chicago. My oldest kid was born in Chicago. But Chicago, I cannot do it ever again. I mean, and every single year for those 3 years, we had a blizzard. It was ridiculous. Like, I wonder why so long Diego was no and it's super cold. So I don't envy you, Miss Gill. I know. That's the one thing I do not miss about living in the Midwest. I don't. I love to visit Chicago during the summertime. I didn't come this year, so then I did. I went to Illinois this year. Never mind. So we are seeing that it's getting a little bit chilly in the evenings and morning time, but during the day, it's still hot. That's welcome to the South. Welcome to Alabama. That's how it is. Wally says it's crazy here in Texas. Yeah, it's hot. And then in the middle of the winter time, you can literally have like 70-something degrees in the South. Like it can't make up its mind. But anyway, If you need to contact our office, the number is 334-341-4475. You can also visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. We're on WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you put in Olalay Immigration, you will be able to see our pages. So please subscribe, share, like, follow, all of that good stuff. All that is appreciated. Thank you, 𝒊𝒒𝒂𝒏𝒕. Let's see. Okay, let's talk immigration. So this evening, I'm going to talk real quick before we get to the questions about green card issued after a divorce. If you have a green card issued after a divorce, then what happens? What can happen? What are your options? What does that mean? What is the consequence for that? And should you be fearful? Should you be worried? Should you be concerned? Talking of worried, so I'm just trying to figure out if I should share this. So the client that I did a lot of work for and came back and tried to defraud my firm by claiming that they never got any services done. So now I'm in the middle of fighting those charges, and I'm going to definitely pursue legal actions. But when I talked about word, I just thought about it like, sometimes, I have to, because I put a lot of posts up to encourage other people, and it encourages me as well, that sometimes you have to understand that life, there are some people that there's nothing you can do for them that will be satisfactory. They will always look for it to bring you down. And that's why for me, my brain works with keeping evidence. I can keep it till Jesus comes back. So that was a bit of worry for me. But then I had to remember that I don't fight my battles myself. As long as I can go to bed knowing that I have done what I need to do for a client and they have received the services from day one, I can go to bed. And I just leave God to fight my battles on my behalf. And he has never disappointed me. When I tell you that people that thought they got away with stuff come back and say, you know what, I'm sorry. And I just say, hey, listen, I've moved on. Because I know that Bible says that he shall fight for me and I shall hold my peace. And it's always been. So should you be worried about if you get a divorce before your green card is finally issued? Amen. Listen, this is a client that I just leave it alone because it pains me to think about it. But I've never sued a client before. I don't ever plan to, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do to make sure you defend your reputation. And that's one thing I've worked so hard every day, all day for. My firm is very transparent. My contracts are very, very clear. I have a lot of red font in my contract because a lot of us do not go through contract just like, okay, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. But if you see something red, that means it's got to catch your attention. So God has always fought for me, and I will hold my peace. I would hold my peace. And at the end, I would give him all the glory. So anyway, now I'm talking about where you have a marriage-based green card filed by your spouse, right? And now you have a situation where you and that spouse have now gotten divorced. However, your green card application is still pending. So what happens if you now have your divorce final, and then subsequent to the divorce is when your green card is approved? What is the consequence for that? And the short answer to that is that may affect you, especially when it's time to apply for citizenship. So generally, for you to qualify for the green card, there has to be an underlying petition, family-based. For green card, generally, for you to file a 485, there's got to be an underlying petition application that makes you eligible to file to adjust your status. So whenever you get married, your spouse would file the I-130, as you guys know. That is the basis by which you file your green card application. Now, in a situation where you've had your interview and you're waiting for them to make a decision, and while waiting for a decision, things don't work out and you end up getting divorced. And there's nothing wrong with getting divorced, because I raise my hand. Just saying. But things don't work out, you get a divorce, but your green card application is still pending. You haven't been issued your immigrant visa / green card yet. In that situation, then the basis for which you are applying to adjust your status no longer exists. And if that basis no longer exists, that means you're no longer admissible as a green card holder, as a permanent resident, based on that relationship. And I've had that happen, and I tell people, listen, that's how it goes. And the reason I want to talk about that today is because I had a consultation with someone, and that's exactly what happened to them. And unfortunately, they applied for citizenship. And long story short, they're now in removal proceedings, basically deportation proceedings. USCIS had the interview, and then they went by, okay, they're not able, because she filed based on 5 years as a legal permanent resident. But what happened in her case was that she and her husband had already divorced. 2 months prior to when her green card was granted, the divorce was final. They issued the green card, and she's lived life just like actually more than 5 years since then. Decided to file for citizenship because she wanted to bring her mother over, and went for an interview. Everything checked out fine. But then when they were reviewing her file, because that's the one thing you have to understand, the fact that you have a green card doesn't mean that USCIS can no longer review your file. They have a right to review your file up until you become a citizen. So say, for instance, you start as a conditional resident. By the time when you're applying for your I-750, when you file your I-751 to get your 10-year green card, they have a right to review your file to make sure that they had made the right decision to start with. And sometimes you will get RFEs or notice of intent to deny for you to prove that your marriage is in good faith, which you probably did not get the first time when you become a conditional resident. But that's because the law allows them to consistently and continually review your case to make sure that you were eligible in the first place for that status up until you become a citizen. And so that's what happened in her case. They reviewed her file and saw that, hey, this doesn't match. Now, she filed a single, but she got a green card through marriage. The officer was like, oh, okay, when did the divorce happen? I see your divorce actually occurred before we issued you the green card. That means the qualifying relationship no longer existed. And that means you did not qualify for the green card. And now she is in removal proceedings. Good thing for her is this: she's been here at least 10 years. So she would have the option of being able to file cancellation or removal, legal permanent resident cancellation or removal. So if your green card is approved after your divorce is final, that means that the underlying relationship, which was the basis for you filing your green card application itself, no longer exists. And that means that you're no longer admissible. Now, I think there's a case law really that as long as USCIS still finds, now, if you inform USCIS, and that's where a lot of people have had that question come up a lot. Like, divorce, and it's not about you not telling them, because they may not know. Yeah. But do you plan to become a citizen at some point? If the answer to that is yes, then you're in your best option is to figure out what your options you have. Is it time to switch over to a VA case? Is it time to, whatever the case may be, because you may get away with it at that level. And when you now apply for citizenship, they may turn around and say, oh, excuse you, by the way, you never qualified. So the qualified relationship, once that ends, that really is the end of your eligibility status, right? There's a case law. I'll look for it and I can put the post up where it says that as long as the immigration officer finds good faith, that the marriage is in good faith, the I-864 is still on record, the person agrees, to keep it on record, then they should be able to approve those cases. I haven't seen one that they've approved. This is an example of the one that, they basically rescinded her legal permanent residency status and placed her in deportation. So it is important to know that a lot of people get separated and all that. If you can't avoid the divorce happening before your case is complete, I don't care what it takes. What is it that they say? Now y'all don't come for me. This Yoruba probably like or something. In other words, you know what your goal is. And if it's the case of staying married for another year, darn it, just stay married. So at least you have that. So that's that. So basically, if you get a divorce before your green card is approved, then that means you have lost that qualifying relationship. And you may want to find out, for instance, if your divorce is happening because of abuse, you may be able to, you may be eligible for a VAC petition, and you may just switch over to a VAC case and start a VAC case and protect yourself that way. So that's basically what I want to talk about this evening. Whenever I have issues or, different kind of case types, and I know that one person has this issue, then someone else is probably thinking it, so that you are in the know of what needs to be done or what the consequence of actions will be. I saw a question pop up saying that, okay, what if the green card comes before the divorce, but the divorce comes like 2-3 months after that? As long as you have evidence of good faith, no one can predict when the marriage is no longer working. I mean, it is what it is. I was married for 15 years. I knew my spouse for 21 years. We went to college together. It was in law school. He was in med school back in Nigeria. It took years, still didn't work out. So let alone, you just never know. No one can say, hey, this is what marriage should be about. So if that happens, as long as you're still able to maintain good faith, then you should be fine if the green card comes before the divorce, but the divorce happens shortly after. Keeping in mind, if your spouse is a citizen, and it's not abuse, there's no abuse case, then you will not be able to qualify for the 3 years to file for citizenship. You would have to wait 5 years, and which a lot of people don't mind waiting anyway. Okay, that's all she wrote. All right, let's go to questions. Okay, let's see. SH says, should I be worried about getting an RFE but no return date for I-360 for FBI background check? No, don't be worried, but I always say send it in as soon as you can. And I'm assuming that what you have is that initial, the RFE where they send you and their check marks, the boxes, check boxes, and they check the good moral character part of it. If that's what you have, put coming back on here, and I think that's what you have. So that usually doesn't have a due date for that, but as soon as you get it, it doesn't take that long for you to get that done online. As soon as you get it done, then go ahead and send that information in to them. Okay. All right. Let me start on. I started on TikTok. Let me start on Instagram. Hello. Okay. Oh, Chicago. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That y'all in the in the free zone right now. I don't envy you. Geraldine says, how many times do they renew prima facie? Until your vow is approved. So they'll keep doing it because as long as your case is still pending. So it's not that many times. It just depends on when your case gets approved. 62 degrees right now in New Jersey. No, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Right? Thank you. Amen. I join my faith with yours. Legends on it. My mom filed I-130 for two of my siblings in Nigeria, and we got an approval notice a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations on that. My question is, how long is the wait time from getting the approval? Still 10 years. If you go on Department of State or just type in visa bulletin, you will see what the waiting time is for each category. So if any of them is married, they have the longest wait time. Yeah, if they're unmarried, under the age of 21, over the age of 21, it has that on the visa bulletin, so you'll be able to see how long it's going to take. And the reason for the wait, just to add to that, the reason for the wait is not the petition. That's what a lot of people are confused about, because I get that. I get consults a lot about, okay, we got an approval and we filed, and they told us, no, we don't have a visa available yet. What does that mean? And that basically is, so that visa bulletin is more about when you're eligible to file to adjust your status or to apply for the immigrant visa at the embassy consulate. So the petition being approved is not what determines when you can apply. Now, if you are in the category that is current, like the EB2, I think EB3 is also current now, and then the F2, F2B, I think it's F2B. Hold on one second. Let me put it up real quick. Spouses and minor children of green card holders. Here we go. And oh, by the way, November visa bulletin is out as well. Yep. I know we just started October, but they have the November out. F2A, sorry, not F2B, F2A. So F1 is unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. F2A is spouses and children of permanent residents. Unmarried, the children means unmarried and under the age of 21. F2B is unmarried sons and daughters of permanent residents, which is, so we have F1, unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizen. F2A, spouses and minor children under 21 unmarried of green card holders. F2B, unmarried sons and daughters of green card holder. F3 is the married sons and daughters of citizen, and then F4 is brothers and sisters of citizens. So right now, for instance, back to your question, if your mother filed for your siblings and any of your siblings fall within the F2B, F3 category, then, for instance, I don't know if your mom is a citizen or not, but F2B is unmarried sons and daughters of green card holders, and they're working on cases received in 2015. F3 are those who are already married, and they're working on cases with priority date of 2008. So that's what it is. And then we have the employment-based option. EB1 is current all through across the board. EB2 is current for most people except China and India. EB3 is also current except for China and India. So that is what that's what controls the priority date. Basically, is the date that USCIS received that underlying petition. That's what controls that. I hope that helps to explain your question. When will you talk about EB2 national interest waiver? I've talked about that before. I usually do mostly pre-recorded videos. So most of my employment based I work with, a few universities as their immigration attorney. And also, here and there, one hospital, another school, that's a whole lot for me. But majority of people that come on the lives are people who are more of family-based cases. But if you go on my website or on my page, national interest, it's self-explanatory, really. It is if you can self-petition for yourself, if you qualify and satisfy the requirements, advanced degree, and national importance, and well positioned, and on the balance, it's more it's actually in your favor for them to waive certain level certification and a job offer. Okay. Let's see. Oh boy. Hello. Um, Oluwabumi. I love how you spelled that. How long after you get your prima facie do you get EAD for VAWA? Prima facie has nothing to do when you get your EAD. Prima facie has to do with them reviewing it. EAD is EAD, like the processing time. Talking of EAD, I got one. There's no rhyme or rhythm to USCIS, but I have some cases that I filed in December that we're still waiting on EADs. It's ridiculous. But the funny thing is, or the truth is, it's still within normal processing time. Those cases are still within normal processing time based on the date. And then I have those that I filed this year, and I've almost practically gotten everything filed before April, I think. But this one that I just got an alert when I was leaving work, we filed July 7th to be precise. And we got a notification today that it's been approved and it's linked to VAWA. So that's what, just about 3 months tomorrow. And then I have some still waiting. It's just ridiculous. So I don't know if you guys remember that USCIS has this time cycle goal that they have set that they want to meet, which is trying to approve EADs within 6 months. I-360, they did not specify which one. I-130. So they're trying to start that. You would think they would start that with cases that are already being filed, but it seems that they're doing with new cases that are just being filed. That's what I'm seeing in my practice. And so I think it actually will create even more issues because then everyone else is backlogged and keeps being backlogged because they filed before. Listen, it's USCIS. Almost 12 months without a work permit. VAWA I-360, 45. Is anything wrong? That's exactly what I'm saying. First of all, you want to verify what category you requested. And I've done a lot of videos on that, at least 2-3 videos about C31, C9. So make sure that you actually file the correct EAD application, that you are able to get your work permit while your VAWA case is pending. That's very important on that. Okay. Okay. If your VAWA case has been approved, how long do you have to wait for your green card? The same answer every time. It depends on if you're in office. A car freak. My lawyer submitted my VAWA package since March, and until now I'm yet to receive any receipt or acknowledgement for USCIS apart from the tracking by UPS that it was received by them. I am worried. So you can ask your lawyer to send an email to the Vermont Service Center using your alien number if you already have one. If you don't have one, they can give them as much information about you to let them know who you are. There's an email that attorneys use. There's a hotline email we use to communicate with Vermont Service Center. And that way I've used that to ask for duplicates, approval notice, duplicate that we never received, duplicate prima facie. So tell your attorney to do that. I think since end of March, that's quite a while. Benio Joe, I've been waiting for 9 months now, still no EAD. I'm still worried. I understand your concern, but I tell you, I do not know. There's no rhyme or reason to what USCI is doing. Because I've had one approved in 2 months. There's no rhyme or reason. And then I have some, like I said, still sitting since December, January. So I know. Don't know. Hello, Timmy Diolani. How are you? How long does it take NVC to approve an I-130 petition? NVC doesn't do I-130. That's USCIS. And it's taking anywhere from 9 months to a year. What's the disadvantage of filing tax separately while still married and about to file for your 10-year green card? Why you're filing separately? It depends on what the reason is. Soft hint: if you're going to file for VA, do you still need to get approved for I-360 to get EAD? I'm not really sure what you're asking. If you need to get approved for I-130 to get, so if your question is, must your VA petition be approved first before you can get a work permit? If that's what you're asking, then it depends on what category EAD you're filing, and that's where it matters. Are you filing EAD based on the I-360, which is a C-31, and which you would not get until the VA is approved, or are you filing a green card application with the 360 so you can get your C9 category work permit while your case is still pending? So that's, if you're not sure, you want to sit down and talk to a lawyer about your case. My case was transferred to your jurisdiction. What is the meaning? That they transferred to another office. Does USCIS do home visit in VA cases? No. There's no home visit. There's no reason for them to do a home visit because a lot of people are not even married. They're no longer married to their spouses. So there's no basis for that. There's no home visit with VA cases. All right. I'll come back to Instagram. Let me go on TikTok real quick. Okay. Hello, Otumba Balance. Let's see. Where is my firm located? My firm is physically located in Alabama, but I represent immigration clients in the United States, and if you pay me for my services, I will travel. I love traveling. I really do. I don't like packing or unpacking, but I'm a hotel snob. See, I'm the girl that can wear a dollar shirt. Like I don't buy anything full price. My mother is full-blooded Ijebu, so I have that in me. I am paying a full price for nothing. Now, there's some things I will pay full price for, but no. However, I will travel. I love to travel, so there's some things in my life that that can be snobbish about. Hotel is one of them. I love exploring. And so that's one of the things that I always look forward to whenever I have to go to represent a client, like especially in a state I've never been to, like, okay, let's go explore what accommodations they have. So yes, we're located in Alabama, but we represent immigration clients in all states. What happens if your spouse files for divorce after you file the N-400? As long as you're still, disclaimer, no, this is not specific to anybody's case. That's just general information. What happens if after you file in 400, as long as you're still in marital union, divorce has not gone through, then you should still be fine. But if the divorce happens before your interview, you would no longer qualify based on the 3 years. Miss Celebrity, thank you. Will the green card be rejected if divorce is final before divorce? I think you mean if divorce is final before the green card. And that's exactly what we talked about. I only received 2 receipts when I submitted 3 I-485 applications and 3. I cannot help you with that. I'm single and want to be married. Okay. How long does it take NVC to update visas class after become citizen? That's a question I can't answer. That's up to NVC. How long does it take USCIS to process I-485 after I-360 approval? USCIS.gov/processing time to tell you how long it's taking them in your field office to process. What about unmarried child of green card holder? Can adjustment of status be done? If they're still in legal status at the time their priority date becomes current, then they can adjust status. If they're not in legal status at the time their priority date becomes current, then they would not be able to adjust status. They'll have to leave. If you have a green card through vow and you are divorced, how long do you qualify for citizenship? If your spouse was a citizen, was a citizen, then it will be 3 years. If your abuser was a green card holder, then you'll have to wait 5 years. And that's regardless whether you're married to them or not, as far as if you got your green card through vow. Okay, let's see. How long after my kids come to the U.S. will they get their green card? I don't know anything about your kids and what they're doing, so I don't know. Waiting for 9 months and I haven't received any updates on my perm case. Trust me. So I got and perm is labor certification. I think I got 2 yesterday and no, 3 yesterday and 1 today. Prevailing wage determination. That's what you do with the EB when an employer files for you. And we submitted those. The one we got yesterday was in March, and the other one's January. It's ridiculous. And I have about, I want to say 6 or 7 perm applications still pending. Yeah, it's. First time here from Louisiana. Thank you. I am divinely chosen. That is cool. I love that. I love that. I'm probably going to steal that and use that. I am divinely chosen. I love that. Okay. How long will it take USCIS to approve your case when you file a self-petition? I don't know what self-petition you filed. So what kind of self-petition did you file? Let's see. I'm just going to bring up something real quick. I'll probably put it up later. Let me just clinch that. Okay. Let's see. It's me, Omani Michelle. How can I change my TN visa to an H-1B? Are you a Canadian citizen? Well, that's something you want to sit down with an attorney to talk about. After receiving, this is Paulette. After receiving a green card, how long does it take to get citizenship, and do you have to stay in the U.S.? In order for you to become a citizen, you have to satisfy the physical and presence and continuous presence requirements. And 3 years as a legal permanent resident if you're married to a citizen. If you're not married to a citizen, then you're going to wait 5 years. You can find 90 days before each of those anniversaries. Okay. Oh, you're Canadian. Okay. I figured that because that's what Canadian and Mexicans are the ones who can use that. Osho says, Osho. Good evening. In your law practice, what's the fastest decision you have received from USCIS on a VAR application? I think the fastest one, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on that, I want to say a year. And here's why. I wanted to spending like for 200 years. So, yeah, it was spending a long time. And we were able to recapture the priority date on that. So, but those are the unicorn cases. I know VAC takes a long time, but y'all have to think about it this way. It gives you control over your life. You're not in somebody else's graces. You're not being manipulated every day. You're not being held hostage because of immigration papers. You're free. I'd rather wait till Jesus comes back than to have somebody control my life and use something as a weapon against me. So, but y'all already know we Nigerians, especially Africans generally, but Nigerians, we don't have patience. Emanisuru sometimes. Emanisuru. I know we don't have patience. I raise my hand as one. I'm an instant gratification kind of person, and I think is imbibed in all Nigerians. But we've got to love. We've got to love that we have. You've got to love patience. You have to embrace patience in this immigration journey. You've got to embrace it. That's what it is. Okay. Yes, see, I sent the I-485 with advanced parole and renewal permit, and so far nothing is by violent and citizen abuser. You know why? I don't know why. If you have a lawyer, tell them. If you don't have a lawyer, then you can write to enforce. See, the thing is, this is one of the reasons why it's best to have a lawyer on your case when it comes to VAWA cases. Unlike the regular marriage case where you can just pick up the phone and call USCIS and to give you information over the phone, they cannot do that with a VAWA case because of the confidential nature of VAWA petitions. They don't know who it is, and maybe your abuser on the other line. So you cannot make a change of address online for a VAWA case. You cannot speak with them. They wouldn't give you any information whatsoever. But if you have a lawyer on your case, there is a safe email dedicated solely for attorneys. And as long as they have that attorney's information on file, they will verify you. And that's the way I used to communicate with the Monterey Center for the most part. And they would always respond. Now, it may take them 30 days to respond to one email. Hey, listen, that's USCIS. But they always, 100% of the time respond to my emails. Because they can verify that it's me. So, if you don't have a lawyer, yes, you may want to get somebody to help you with your case. Philip Adelshun, N400 interview was conducted 7 years, 10 years in the field. All went well. 3 weeks now, no update. How long does? Depends on the field office. Some may just be still doing additional background check, or if additional information investigation, they may still. I don't know. There's a whole lot of I don't knows in that kind of situation, especially not knowing your background. So it's not a question I can answer. USCIS told me they're still reviewing my case of about 4 years now. What kind of case is a marriage-based case? When was it filed? They made it unannounced visit to your home. If all else fails, you may have to go file a writ of mandamus against USCIS in court, and that's usually the last resort. But they will always respond because it's going to be a court order telling them they have to make a decision. Antonio Joe, is it 100% safe to use advanced parole to travel? I'm smiling because you would never hear me say something is 100% safe. No. It's Maria on commercial pharmacy Manta on TV, where they tell you, they sell you all of what's a good thing about what you're about to buy, and then in the fine print they go, there's a less than 1% chance of you getting not in the year. So it's the same thing with legal stuff, because CBP is one that has the 100% sole discretion of who they let in or who they don't let in. But what thing I've always said is, as long as you don't have any criminal cases or any other thing that is of concern outside of unlawful presence, then you should be fine. But 100%, I cannot. Sorry. Ekale, Mr. Rashid, how are you? Okay. Does USCIS need COVID vaccine, or is just the surgeon doctors before the surgeons have to check in? No problem. The doctors have to check. It's part of the form now. It has to be checked by the physicians that you have been vaccinated. I'll leave that alone, because I was going to get into politics. I don't do politics, but there's some things that I feel like you shouldn't force people to do. But listen, I'll leave that alone. It's been 2 years and I still haven't got my green card yet. And they told me to redo my vaccination. Yeah, because it's expired. That's why, for the most part, I usually don't tell my clients I need your medicals right now, because we don't know how long it's going to take. Now, I've had cases approved from when we filed to green card in less than 6 months. Now, like I always say, those are unicorn cases. So, Yeah. Can a congressman, woman expedite USCIS action on I-45? Good question. I always say you have nothing to lose to contact your congressman and woman, contact your senator. That you have nothing else, you have nothing to lose. But for the most part, they're all just making an inquiry, and then they'll tell you what USCIS says. So it's like a middleman. So that's what it is. And sometimes it just happens that it works out, and sometimes they'll just keep checking in with you, like, oh, they said they have to still do some background check. They can't force anything on the institution that can force USCIS to do something is the U.S. District Court, and that's by way of writ of mandamus. Gracie, how long will it take USCIS to approve when you file for I-751 case abuse? It depends on. I mean, I've had 2 approved without interview this year so far. And I can't say how long. If y'all have to do your own research yourself sometimes, uscis.gov/processing time will give you an estimate time of how long it's taking them. How long does it take to bring siblings to U.S. who are older, over 21 years as a U.S. citizen? It's close to 10, 15 years for them to be able to get that, to apply for the immigrant visa. Okay. All right, people. I think we got a lot of the questions. God, a lot of the questions. Yeah. Okay. What else you guys got on Instagram? Let me see. I think I got everything. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, can I use I-824 to file for a derivative child already listed on an approved file who lives abroad? If your CIs never sent any information to the NBC, which they probably would not have because you just listed the child, then you have to file the I-824 for them to take action on that approval, so your child can apply for the immigrant visa at the embassy. Okay. I got an RFP mail for good moral character in early August, and I responded a few days later, but my case status was not updated to RFP requested, neither did it update to RFP received. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so it's approved by USCIS, and now NBC, how long does it take to send to embassy for visa? There's a lot of backlogs, and first of all, you have to be documentary qualified, and then once that's done, then your relative is waiting for interview date. Y'all, it's real messed up. It is messed up. It's messed up, really. Okay, I'll just take one more question. If your asylum is pending and won a DV lottery, can you apply for green card? It's still the same requirement. You must be eligible to adjust your status. So if you're out of status already, a pending asylum does not confer on you any status. It does not. A lot of people are mistaking that, okay, because my acknowledgement of receipt says you're authorized to stay. Authorization to stay is not legal status. Once that covering goes, that's why people end up being placed in deportation proceedings when they don't have any other fallback status. So DV lottery winning is the petition itself. You still have to file the application, and in order for you to be eligible to adjust your status, then you must be in legal valid non-immigrant status. Okay. All right. What does it mean? What does it mean if immigration court says your case has no future date, that is, it hasn't been set? Sometimes I don't worry about that, especially because if it's not a very strong case that my client has and we're still waiting on something or an optional, what's the word I'm looking for? Application for relief. What else can they qualify? So can I get a permanent stay or a permit if I had my son here in the U.S. is medically needed, even though we are on a P visa? There's nothing that qualifies you to stay permanently that you can file for because you had a son here. Okay. All right, everybody. Once again, if we can help you with your immigration cases, our number is 334-341-4475. And you can text it a number, call us, visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. And let's see, y'all, we're all in this boat together. We're in this journey together. Yes, I have my citizenship and all that, but I understand what it is like to go through that journey, to have sleepless nights, to have anxiety, to not know if you're going to approve your case, to end up in the rural health area because of green card. Trust me, people, that's where my passion lies. I just know that I feel you, I see you. But also let's all be patient and just trust and believe that, God has started a journey. Bible says that he who has begun a good work in us, he's able to complete it unto the coming of Jesus. And so I don't believe in coincidences in my life. I don't believe in luck. I believe in grace. I believe in favor. And I know that when God starts a thing, I'm yet to see any situation where he does not complete. He will complete it. He shall complete it. That's what he says. Says, put me in remembrance of my words and see if he will not come to pass. So, just stay hopeful, stay prayerful, and you will see things work out in your favor, God willing. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys